Hey you guys, this is Brandy at Lavender's Blue Farm. I wanted to talk a little bit today about why we decided to pull our kids out of school mid-semester and homeschool. It was a decision that took a couple of weeks. I have really thought about homeschooling a lot over the last few years, but I felt that my children would benefit by being in school in the younger years, and I had planned on homeschooling for like the middle school age and then putting them back in high school. So the immediate reason that we pulled them out to homeschool was because my oldest, he was just struggling academically. He was getting a lot of failing grades, and he is very smart. He works hard. He cares about succeeding. So there was really in my opinion, there was no good reason for him to be getting failing grades. And I looked at the papers and I saw a lot of missed questions that he just didn't answer, or he answered, he didn't fully read the question. So he would come home from school every day and just be really emotional. He was really tired, just not in a great mood. And in my opinion, the pressure was just too high. I mean, he's 8 years old, he's in 3rd grade. I feel like he should be coming home, maybe doing a little chore, spending time with family, going outside and playing, maybe do a little homework, some reading, do all the normal things, dinner, bath, that kind of stuff. I just felt like the pressure was too high for him, and it had gone beyond a helpful level. So he was so mentally exhausted by the end of the day that homework that he would be able to do pretty quickly last year, he couldn't get through. It would take him 1 to 2 hours of him working hard. He did his best. He had a good attitude. It wasn't the kind of learning experience that I wanted him to have. So that was our most immediate reason. There are a lot of reasons that I feel like it'll benefit them, even if it's just for 1 year. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know how long I'm gonna homeschool, but we are gonna try it this year. I just feel that education is a lot more than just intellectual by itself, and education now currently is almost completely just geared to intellectual development. I don't know if you've ever heard the term intellectual idiots, but it's based on a person learning a lot of book knowledge but not having good life skills or life knowledge or common sense. So I feel like education is about a lot more than just intellectual facts and statistics. So there's the quality of education, there's the character development, the spiritual development, development of habits. And I'm excited because I feel like this is a new area for me to explore as a mom. I've been teaching my children certain things over the years. I teach them their chores. I'm trying to teach them how to speak well. I'm trying to teach them their manners and kindness and all that kind of thing. But I feel like teaching them in an more academic setting is just gonna add to our relationship, and I'm really excited about that. The next thing that I feel that homeschool is really good for is allowing the child to follow their interests. It's not a one-size-fits-all. You can go on their pace, make sure they get each concept, but you can also follow their interests, and I feel like that's really important. That is how they're gonna find what they're passionate about, what their strengths are, and to utilize their strengths, and not just strengths, but their weaknesses, and how they can develop good habits or good strategies to address those weaknesses. So their current school was really good. It's nothing about teachers or their current school. I really enjoyed their school, but I felt like as a mom, I could provide that one-on-one tailored education. It won't be without challenges. I have 2 little ones underfoot. I'm trying to keep my house somewhat together, I'm trying to maintain good nutrition for them, all these things. You know, I'm doing YouTube, and I do my own lavender pursuits is what I call them. So it's not without challenges, but I feel like the benefits really outweigh the downsides. And some of the downsides are I was concerned about them missing out on the little plays and the choir performances and that kind of thing. But those are actually all things that you can do at home. What you find is important for your family is something that you can still figure out how to do in a different way. So the curriculum I am starting out with is called Simply Charlotte Mason, and I really enjoy Charlotte Mason's methods of teaching. Now, she was a British educator at the beginning of the 1900s. She had a lot of experience with educating and also with theories of education. So her big theory was that you are teaching the child as a whole. So they are a whole person, and you want to not just teach their intellectual side, but also enrich them with art and with music and with scripture, with a big emphasis on habits. And I have come to the conclusion with a lot of reading and a lot of analyzing my own habits that in a large part, habits really affect your quality of life. They affect generations. They affect how you are as a child, your success in school, your success with any endeavors that you're trying to nurture, any kind of pursuits, really. They affect you as a parent. They affect your children and your children's children. Habits are very important, and that was one thing that Charlotte Mason really emphasized. So she felt that nurturing the child as a whole with their habits and their spiritual development and their whole mind and their whole heart and their whole body was really important. And through that, through going outside in nature and enriching themselves on top of a normal education was really important. So Charlotte Mason did not ever have any kids, and I really can't see that in her education theories, but I'm reading her book on habits right now, and I can see it in her discipline theories. So I don't agree with her on everything, but I really find that her educational philosophy speaks to me. I prayed about it a lot, and this was the conclusion I came to. I just felt like it was time to go for it, and it's taken a leap of faith. It's not, as I planned it. It's not comfortable. I mean, there are things that caused me to hesitate. I wanted my own homeschool room. I wanted to figure out how to, wait until I didn't have little babies crawling on us while we were writing and that kind of thing. But it was time. So my plan is this year, and I'll let you know at the end of the year how that worked out for us, is we're actually going to do a year-round homeschool. And the reason for that is I don't feel that the long break is very helpful for retaining the information, because you have to go back and review for a while to go back to where you were the previous year. So we'll be doing year-round, and that'll afford us more shorter breaks. And another main reason I have for doing that is because outside time to us, I have 3 boys. It's just crucial. And so I can kind of plan based on the weather. I can plan on, in the summer in Arizona, it's hot. So I'd love if there was school during the summer, because then you can take extra time off during the spring and fall when it's beautiful out. As far as weekly schedules, I'm going to be doing 4 days a week with the curriculum, just the normal set schedule for 4 days. And my husband is off on Fridays, and the school that they came from was a 4-day week school anyway. On the 5th day, I'm planning on Fridays, I'm planning on using for, following kind of more of an unschooling method. And if you haven't heard of the unschooling method, It's based on following the child's interests. So I don't really feel that that's best as a majority, because I feel that history is really important, and you'd get just it seems like you'd get a really incomplete view on certain things. And also, how do you unschool with math? Like, I don't know very many kids who would choose math. At least I wouldn't choose math. But so the 5th day, I'm planning on doing kind of an unschooling style where you follow the child's interests. So if my son asks, how is an astronaut suspended in the air in space, we can spend a day talking about that, exploring it, researching it. I'm also planning on using it for a field trip. Really, you can take them anywhere, and that's one thing about homeschooling is you can have a lot more field trips. You can take your kids outside to do lessons one day if it was a really nice day. You have so much freedom, and I really love that. So on the farm, there are a lot of opportunities for farm kids to learn through nature. You can go outside and learn where our eggs come from our chickens. You can go pick apples off the tree and learn about fertilizing and pH balance and alkalinity and climate conditions. There's so much to learn outside. You can learn about ant hills. You can visually see the seasons happening. Now in Arizona, we don't really get the fall colors, at least in my area. But I mean, you can watch the day by day instead of just reading about it in a book. You can watch the birth of your goats. You can witness firsthand the work that it takes to cultivate your land and to garden and to take care of your animals and your family. I think developing that responsibility and the character is really a huge part of education, in my opinion. And you can do that without homeschooling. But the mother having the opportunity to instill that 24/7 and not compartmentalizing it, because when you have a school day, you know, the kids get home and you just want them to decompress. You want them to have some fun, have a snack. That's kind of my reasons and my plan on homeschooling. I'll just give you a quick little shot of my homeschool area. It doesn't take, you know, when you go to Pinterest, you see all these beautifully designed homeschool rooms, and it doesn't have to be that. It can be very simple. It can be within your budget. Homeschooling can be an expense. I looked up an average that it is between $300 and $600 per student per year. And I believe for us this year, it'll be between $600 and $700 for 2 students. So there is an expense. There will be some monthly costs of more, you know, field trips. With Charlotte Mason, you have something called Living Books, and that is, instead of having textbooks, you'll have a book. It's normally fictional. It's accurate, an accurate representation of history, but it's written from a relatable viewpoint. So, I mean, you'll have those every month. Maybe you'll have more extracurriculars that you might want to invest in. So there are costs, there are downsides to homeschooling, but I feel that the benefits are so important to our children that we invest in them like that. And it's a sacrifice. I have no alone time ever. It can be a sacrifice for them as well, especially if you're pulling them out mid-semester like we did, because they're not accustomed to not seeing their friends. They've gotten attached to their teachers, but the benefits far outweigh the downsides, in my opinion. As far as social interactions, you know, we take them to see their friends pretty often. We have more extracurriculars because we have more time now. So I'm not worried, you know, we're very active in our church. I'm not worried about their socialization at all. So these are just some reasons that we have to try it this year. In the comments below, let me know, do you homeschool? What is your experience? What is your education philosophy? What kind of things do you want to instill in your children? I want to know. So that's what's going on with us. I will give you guys updates. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like the content. And thank you for stopping by the farm. See you later.